Hi, Sonny here, and I know this video isn't really in line with my usual content, but I just felt like throwing my opinion into the void. I recently received my Kameda nendoroid. It's cool that he finally exists. I have no notes on the actual nendoroid itself. I think it's really good and they captured him really well. There was no paint defects on mine or anything like that, and his hair sculpt is crazy. Like, his hair sculpt is 1-to-1 with his sprite. It's done really well. But yeah, the nendoroid itself is fine. What I wanted to talk about though is the new base and stand arm. This is the first nendoroid I've received that has the new and improved base and stand. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up the Good Smile website. Here we go. Is that November or December? I think it's November. In November 2024, Good Smile posted a information notice about the change of the support arm and the base and the neck joint. So it's not like this was a surprise. I knew that they were changing them. All future nendoroids, as of now I guess, will have this new base and stand. Okay, they say support arm. The new support arm facilitates easier assembly and posing as well as interference with the figure. The new design is also more compact and allows for more articulation than the original design. Chamfered? What is that word? I nearly read that as chameleon. To make symmetrical sloping angle. Okay, so they're talking about the angle. So it's angled to reduce contact with the figure. That's more specifically for figures with long hair at the back, which I only own one of. I only have Ib, so I don't really have that problem. But for people that have a big collection of characters with long hair, it's helpful. The screw size is reduced to reduce contact with the figure. Again, I've never had that problem. Rotation axis added to increase range of motion. This is weird. I didn't even realize the stand did this at first. But the actual peg that connects to the nendoroid can turn 360. Like, you can rotate it. But I don't know why you would want to do that. Maybe if you're posing it in a way that's like really dynamic and floating in the sky, but slit added to increase range of motion. I don't know what that's referring to. I think it's referring to this little arm part that like can sandwich together. Image of new support arm. Okay, the base. The new base has been reduced in thickness by 34% and contains 8 support arm holes instead of the original 13. This is to allow the base to be more inconspicuous for a more seamless display. Yeah, sure. If they wanted an inconspicuous base, they would just do a flat square of acrylic with only one peg in it. Thickness reduced from 8mm to 5.3mm, and the number of holes reduced from 13 to 8. Then they've got a comparison. Neck joint parts. The new joint structure allows for a stronger joint to prevent breakage. I didn't even notice that Kameda had a new neck joint because I've never in my nendoroid collecting career had a problem with the neck joint. I've never broken one. I have a whole bunch of spares that just sit in their boxes. I never had a problem with the old one. I doubt I'll have a problem with the new one. Now I'll get into the new base. When I opened it, I had no idea what I was looking at. I actually attached it incorrectly at first because I was going off the old arm, but then when I was recording footage and I looked at the instructions, I realized, oh wait, I've got this completely wrong. So I fixed it, and here it is, actually assembled correctly. But yeah, when I first assembled him, I assembled the stand wrong, and I was like, holy crap, this is the worst thing ever. What is this? He was so far forward on the base, and it looked so dumb, and I was like, what were they thinking? But no, it was just me that was stupid. When in doubt, look at the instructions, everybody. It is less bulky. Like, the new arm is less bulky. I don't really like how it sticks out at the bottom. With the old arm, you could always remove that little part that sticks into the nendoroid, and I thought that was fine. But with this new arm, not only does that part unplug, but you can also pull it directly out of the rod, and I don't really like that. It feels flimsy and like it's going to fall apart. Like, just putting Kameda together, it disconnected a few times and it was like, oh, I don't know, it doesn't feel as sturdy as the old arm. Like, sure, the old arm is uglier. It's uglier and sticks out of the back, but it was sturdy. When I put my nendoroids on the old base, I felt like I don't have to worry about them, right? It's not like the previous base was any prettier, like it is still ugly, but it does its job, and that is to keep the nendoroid in place. And if you don't like it, you can buy alternatives. Like, I prefer these clear acrylic disc bases that I actually need to get more of because I've run out. Or you can get the easel stands. I know a lot of people like the easel stands. I personally am scared of them because I feel like one knock of my bookshelf is going to send all my nendoroids flying. So that's why I don't have any easel stands. But I know that a lot of people prefer them. And of course, like unique bases are the best ones, but like they don't always do that. They actually do that pretty rarely. But the issue is I don't feel like this arm is as secure as the old one. I wanted to try something. So Reagan here has volunteered to be our test dummy. This is a bed, so don't worry, he's going to be falling onto a soft surface. This is his old support arm. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. It's the new stand. It barely even goes into his back. Me when? Because maybe it was unfair, because Reagan's not meant to come with this new stand. So here's Kamado with the new stand, the new peg. Watch what happens when I pick him up. And he's gone, and he's dead. Let's look at one of the features that they have advertised, which is that it reduces contact with the figure. As I said, Ib is my only nendoroid with long hair at the back. So there's two versions of the standard arm. There's the one you've been seeing, and then the one Ib has here is for longer haired characters. It's like more compact and like an L shape instead of the C shape. And as you can see here with the old support arm, there's barely any movement. I can't move her head. I can't make her look up. She can barely turn to the sides because of the peg right at the back. So I put the new support arm in, but the new support arm has a longer peg on the actual part that goes into the nendoroid, and I couldn't push it in any further than this. So yeah, the arm is out of the way, but the long peg made it like you still can't move anything. So I replaced the peg with the old arm's peg, and then I could get some more movement, and it was easier to maneuver her head around. So yeah, I guess the sloped design is better for longer haired characters, but I still don't like the base. The new base, it just looks cheap. I feel like it's less sturdy. I don't see the point of putting holes all around it, because removing the holes in the middle is already removing options. The peg in the middle is really good if you want to do like a floating pose for your nendoroids. Like my Infinity Miku here, she feels the most sturdy in the middle peg when I put her in this pose. And she's heavy. She's a really heavy nendoroid, and she doesn't really wobble too much in this pose. Like I could shake her and she wasn't going to fall apart. With the new base, you don't have the middle peg, so you'd have to put her in one of the back holes. I didn't even try this. I didn't want to break her, because I know for sure it's going to tip over. Yeah, I guess my overall point is that just the new base feels less secure. The reduced amount of peg holes also limits how many like extra accessories you can put on and display with the nendoroid. I just don't really get why they removed the options, right? Like even if you don't use the middle pegs, or like you only use the left corner peg, the point is that they've removed the option if you wanted the option, you know what I mean? I just really don't like the new base. It's somehow uglier. It has less holes, but it's uglier. I don't know. Another thing I noticed with Kamado's packaging is his extra parts didn't have tape over them. Like usually the smaller extra parts have a clear tape over the top to keep them in place. Kamado didn't have that. I don't know if that was just mine that was missing that, or if that's a new thing going forwards. I was like, I don't really like that, because when you open the blister, I had his arms just flying everywhere. Yeah. Overall, I don't think it's the worst change, but it is one that will take some getting used to. For now, I'm just gonna put Kamado on a spare regular base that I have. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you prefer the new base or the previous base. If you agree or disagree with me, it's fine. Also, good smile if you're watching. Make a Kagehira Mika nendoroid. Thank you. Like I already knew he was unstable, but this is a different kind of unstable, you know what I mean?